Hey guys, welcome to today's show today. It's been a real rough day today. I've had a chance to talk to a lot of different people, a lot of friends that I hadn't had a chance to connect to, and it was really uplifting. But I tell you, it's a rough day today um, because this is the first holiday season. This is the first season that I'm missing my best friend. I'm missing my dad. And I had today, I was going to talk to you guys about the difference between agentic AI and identic AI. But, I thought when your heart's heavy, it feels good to really share something that I think is more personal. And my father is not here anymore, but I thought to honor him, he gave so much to me and I learned so much from him. I thought I would share with you a couple of stories. My favorite stories about my father that taught me things in life that helped me get to be where I'm at as a CEO, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. So that's what I'm going to do today. So, name is James Bradley, and I'm going to talk to you about my best friend, my dad. I love him to death. So just let me tell you, the first thing I will tell you is I was 11 years old, or maybe younger. Yeah, I was 11 years old at the time. And I remember coming home and all my friends were in the paperboy routes. And so they had gotten their paperboy route jobs. And I was big time into the handheld computer games, but I wanted to make some money so that I could buy more. And so I was so excited because I had went and got myself a job as a paperboy. And let me tell you, that was a big deal for me. So I was super excited. So I remember coming home and telling my dad, hey, dad, let me tell you, I have got it. I'm going to be a paperboy. I got some money. My father looked at me with this look on his face. He was calm. He looked at me. And I could tell every time I said the word paperboy, it's just, you could see the puzzlement on his face. And he looked at me and said, is that really the best you think you can do? And I'm 11 years old. You remember that? And he started talking to me about things that I enjoy and what I liked. I was good at math and games. The next day, my father came home with a Commodore PET computer. And it had a basic cassette and book. And he said, why don't you learn how to program basic programming? You like to play games, learn how to make them. And so I started learning basic programming. And then I said, Dad, this is great. He said, well, why don't you teach other kids? That's a business. And before you knew it, we went down to Great Western Savings. I opened up a business account. I went to the church and I made flyers. And I'm handing them out. One of my good friends, Horatio, was my first customer now. To this day, I've known her for about 30 years. And I had my first business at age 11, and it was amazing. And one of the things that I learned from my dad is, the best leaders don't give you the easy job, right? They show you a bigger vision. They make you believe in yourself in ways that you never thought was even possible. And that's the first real significant thing. I think when I think back on my career of what I learned from my father, that's the first story that really stands out. Okay, let me tell you about the second story, which I think is really funny. So I remember, I was a teenager and my mom was, telling me to do something. Most teenagers, you think you know everything. So I'm telling her, I don't want to do this. And I think I don't even remember what the conversation was about. But it's just like, it's a teenager. You don't want to do anything. So she's really upset at me. And I'm trying to tell her, I'm right, right? So my dad gets home and he sees my mom's upset. And so I'm upset. And so I'm explaining to him, right? My dad's calmly listening to me. And I'm like, Mom's wrong. This is what's going on. Mom's wrong. And what she telling me don't make any sense, Dad. What she telling me don't make any sense. And my dad calmly looked at me and said, boy, let me tell you something. If your mama tells you to jump off a bridge, when I get home, you better be wet. And what he was talking about, I laugh about that. I can remember it's so funny. I can remember. It wasn't funny at the time, but I remember it like it was like tomorrow. You know, respect isn't optional. It's foundational. There's so much in the world anybody can teach you. Any person that you meet has something they can teach you. What stops you from learning from that person? Respect. You know that statement, respect is earned? No, it's foundational. You have to think of it that way, because if you give the respect, then you can get that gift of knowledge. You get that gift of learning. And so many people in the world, you think about business leaders and how they talk and how they communicate, and politicians, you've lost the respect for who you're communicating to or against or with. And so no knowledge can be exchanged. So that's the second thing that I want to share to you about my father. See, another story, I was very, very funny. So I loved basketball when I was growing up, and like many kids, you know, I wanted to be in the NBA. And I happen to be coordinated at an early age, right? And people catch up, but you don't know that at the time. You just think you're the star. So my head was getting really big. And so my dad decided that he was going to take his son, who had played in these private school leagues in a very protected league, and he was going to give me an opportunity, since I was so great telling everybody how player I was. He was going to allow me to play in a more public school, more public environment setting, more public league that they had running. And so I'm like, great, I'm going to show everybody how great I am. So game starts, and I have to guard this kid. And this kid, we only playing maybe 6-minute quarters. It's halftime, and this kid got like 15 points. It's only 6-minute quarters, man. He got 15 points. And my dad looked at me at halftime, and I'm shaking my head. He said, "Are you having any fun yet?" And I'm like, "No, I ain't having no fun yet, man. I'm getting killed all over the place, right? I'm failing miserably. Right in front of your faces. I'm just dying out here." And he looked at me and he says, "He's left-handed." And I said, "What?" I looked at him. He said, "You're in basketball, you're taking away his right hand, and he's killing you because he's left-handed and he's fast to the left, so you got to take away the left side." Amazing, right? Amazing. The second half of that game, I think he had 2 or 4 points, and I had 15 or 20. And the lesson that I learned from a business perspective was, this stuff in Silicon Valley, talking about failing fast, nah. Failing fast is not what you want to know about. Nah, that's what my dad was talking about. It's not about failing fast. It's about improving your rate of learning. You see, I was failing fast and miserable, but I wasn't learning. As soon as he accelerated my rate of learning, I could understand what was happening. I can understand what was happening. So it's another great lesson that James Bradley had an opportunity to share with me. And the last one, the last one that I'm going to give you is probably one of the most important that I've learned throughout my career, and one of the best. I think if there's a skill set that you got to have, it's a skill set that I'm going to talk to you about in this one. And so I was in college, and I had a girlfriend in high school, senior year, and we go away in college, and so we had broken up, and I was a bit difficult for a young man, and so my dad was like, "Don't get serious. Go to college and just learn. Just focus on learning and educating and finding out who you are and becoming an entrepreneur. Just enjoy it, but don't worry about getting serious with anybody." So it was great. And so I was on a bunch of different classes, and I found, and like most people in college, you find your best friend, right? You find somebody that you're best friends with, right? You start, you happen to kind of connect with, and this happened to be a girl. And so my family being Creole, they love to dance, Zydeco dances and Cajun dances. They have a big dance. And so and I knew that my grandparents, my grandma, incredible cook, would always need help in preparing for the dance. And it was a weekend, so I asked my best friend, I said, hey, would you like to come to this dance with me to help my family and get everything situated? Oh, sure, yeah, that'd be fun. I'm like, great. So, we're college, so we get there and we get to the house. And so she's, my dad's, I introduced to my father, and we get just friend and everything. And so they start talking, and I'm helping load and stuff and everything. And so I want to say, like, before we get ready to go to dance, we're probably in the house maybe in like an hour or 2 hours. He calls me in the kitchen. And he says, my dad says, so who is that? Who's that? And I said, I said, Dad, don't worry. Don't worry. We are just friends. Don't worry. We're absolutely just friends. And he looked at me and he said, you big dummy. And he hit me in the head. I go, what? What's going on? He goes, that's the one. That's the one. Well, that happened to be my wife now of 32 years, Lorenzo Bradley. And, it was amazing. And like many things, my father was right. And the thing I would tell you is pay attention to those people around you who understand how to read people. The lesson that I learned is when people show you who they are, those are the people that you really, really, really need to believe, because they're not talking, they're showing you who you are. And my dad had that ability to be able to not listen to so much the words of people around him and what was happening, but he could see through their very soul. He could see and understand that through their action, this is the type of person that they're dealing with. So when people show you who they are, truly, truly believe them. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm missing him. I miss him every day. He's an amazing man. I think about him all the time. And for those of you who are, missing that special person who may have passed away, remember the good times. Share their love, share their passion, share their knowledge. And I wish you and everyone a happy holiday season. And we'll talk to you a little bit later on this week. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.